So here we are, another episode of What the Preacher Forgot to Say, and what this is about is we look back at Sunday and we think, oh, I forgot this, completely missed this out, didn't mean to, but it just slipped my mind, and so we might do that, or there might be a passage where there's a number of different things and we go, well, I didn't say this, but actually I would have liked to have done, but there wasn't the time, so we'll look at it, or we might look at what was said and go a little bit deeper. So I thought we'd do that this week with Mark chapter 3. It starts with Jesus forming a new family. It's a new community. He's up the mountain, gathers this bunch of people to him, a little bit like King David gathered his men to him. They're all named, they're even nicknamed. It's a very rich community that he's got, that they would be with him, it says. And then it ends, all these passages end with who's my family? Who's my mother? Who's my brothers, my sisters? Anyone who does the will of the Father is my family. So you've got this image of a family that's been drawn together. Then he explains what his family is, and then in between, some stuff about family. I thought we'd explore it a bit more, go into a bit more detail. There's a word that is used. Mark uses this word for home, or it's a word for house or household, and it's oikos. There's another word that he uses as well that's really similar, oikia, and that means home, household, house, whatever. The scholars looking at the two words, they go, well, they're kind of interchangeable in the Bible. Sometimes you got oikos, sometimes you got oikia, but there might be a difference, and if there is a difference, and perhaps the difference that Mark is picking up on is maybe oikos is seen from within, and therefore it's a bit more homey, and maybe oikia is seen from without, so it's a bit more housey. They can both be used for the word, the house, the bricks and mortar, but oikos seems a little bit more about the people who make up the house. We would, in English, would say the home. Home being, and sometimes when we say home, it's how it's furnished and whatever, but home really is about the people within the house, those who make it up. And Mark seems to distinguish, because he says Jesus came home. He's just talked about his friends, and there's this place that we know he's got in Capernaum. He comes home and other people crowd at the door. So it's like he's inviting people. There's a hospitality. You invite people into your home, don't you? You can invite them into your house, but it's a bit more formal, like a country house. You can come in my house and look round, or you can come to my home and I'll give you a cup of tea. It looks like Mark's saying that, and then the word oikia is also used to talk about Satan's household. It's not a home, it's a household. It's like a business. It's got servants, and so sometimes oikia is used to describe the household of someone, including all the servants, and like a household would run as a business, whereas oikos might be a little bit more family-like, although servants are obviously part of the family as well. But looks like there's a subtle difference. Jesus, Mark says, is going for oikos. He's going for this family feel. And you invite people into the family. And there's so many he wants to get in the family that it's squashed yet again. And there's just not enough time, even for the hospitality, because hospitality is a big thing, but there's no time to even eat. That's how many people he's inviting in here. So that just reminds us something about the message of Jesus and the lifestyle of Jesus. He's going for oikos. He's building oikos. Home, home, home. Then we've got that phrase, welcome home, a value where we go, God is inviting you not into his house simply to sort of work in the house, but he wants you as a son or a daughter to live in the home and to call it your own as well, to put your feet up, to take your shoes off. This is what Jesus is inviting us into, and it's really brilliant compared to perhaps the starkness of Satan, the way he works, which is on a contractual basis, not relational. It's a contractual basis. You do this, I'll do that. That's how he works, and the wages of sin is death. He operates on a household very, very different from Jesus, which is really warm. So we learn that just from the words that Mark's using. And then the other thing that is of interest in this passage, it's a bit shocking as well, is the way Jesus treats his family. So first of all, his people come to him, perhaps that's his wider family, because his closer family come a little bit later, but it says his people, those near him, literally those near him, which I think it might be translated kinspeople, and they want to take him away, that he's out of his mind. That's his family. And then when his mum and his brothers and sisters turn up, and they're outside, he doesn't go out to meet them. And you think, oh, does he not care? This is his mum here, and this is his family. Why doesn't he leave the business and go and see his family? Surely that's what we're meant to do, is we put family first. And I would say when it comes to church things, family, those who we're looking after and in our family, is more important than the structure of church. Even though church is also a family, it's a wider family. But we need to make sure we're looking after our own family. So why isn't Jesus doing it? Why does he leave them outside? It just seems a bit funny. Well, I think we could learn something from Jesus here in the way Mark writes. They're outside and they call for him to come out to them. They're in charge. They want to own him. They want to control him. Just like the scribes want to control him. Hey, you're doing the wrong thing. You're not casting it. You're not doing the right thing. All these people are being set free. It's not how we want to do it. All this brilliant stuff. We don't like it. We want to control you. His family want to control him. Are they embarrassed? They think it's not the right thing. Is he bringing shame on them? They're outside. They're saying, you've got to come to us. And yet everyone is gathering around Jesus. They know, his mum knows that he's the Son of God, his calling, and yet they're wanting to control Jesus. That's the difference. And when we want to control Jesus, control God, then we're putting family or ourselves or our business or our work or whatever above him. And what we learn from Jesus is he's not to be controlled. And so he's not dissing his family, he's not being rude to his family. They don't realise what it means to be part of this wonderful new community. And so, he doesn't go outside to see them because they're being obstinate and going, no, you've got to come out and see us, mate. And he says, what's real family? Real family isn't that politics, it's not that stress. It's actually something more humble, more personable, more kind, where we're putting God first and we're looking after one another. That's real family. And it may be that you find in your own family there's some really difficult dynamics of control, of I'm not going to do this, you're going to do that, and people kind of vying for power over sentimental things or financial things or relational things, and that happens in families. It was happening in Jesus' family as well. It's not just your family, my family, it happens in Jesus' family. That kind of dysfunction going on. How did he handle it? Did he go, oh gosh, I better calm everyone down, I want them all to feel happy, I need to keep my brothers okay, my sisters, my mum? He didn't do that. He's what a psychologist called Friedman calls a non-anxious presence, which means someone who stands in the midst of perhaps a dysfunctional family or dysfunctional community. Doesn't try and make everyone feel happy the whole time, because then you're really pressurized, making A happy and B happy and C happy, and it's all on you. He knows who he is. He knows what he's called to be. Doesn't mean he doesn't love them or like them. They are invited in as well, but he knows who he is. And maybe there's something we could learn about family here. It's really important. Jesus puts massive value on oikos here. This is what it's all about. The Father there welcomes to his home. But we know that our experience of family is disjointed. It's not always the best. And Jesus is showing us how to live within family. Put God first. Love people around you. Don't give in to control, either your own sense of control or other people's sense of control, but actually have strong, I guess it's loving kindness and truth meeting together, which is this combination in the Bible. It happens a lot. And two words that I'm holding on to this year: loving kindness and truth meeting together. They meet together in Jesus, so he doesn't dismiss his family. He doesn't go, I've got to just do whatever they say, but he says, come on in, everyone. And so just might be worth us praying about our own family, our own friendships, our own circles, knowing that that's really good. We want to build on it, build on small group, build on church, build on family, build on friendship. that's what God wants us to build on relationships. At the same time, just be aware of when they're dysfunctional or toxic, and they actually need someone brave enough like Jesus to know how to walk through the middle of it, honoring everyone on the way, but establishing a new way of being, which is based on doing the will of the Father. So helpful, few little verses. There's other stuff in there as well we could go into about Satan, casting out Satan and all that kind of thing. But I thought the family thing, really important for us to learn, really important for us to seek God on, to say, God, help me with my family and my friends to live really rightly for your sake and their sake.